program. Uh, Coming up 1 week from today, that will be on Friday, February 3rd, at the Person County Office Building Auditorium. They're going to be having the Person County Extension and Community Association cancels 7th annual Pinto Bean Lunch fundraiser. It'll start at 11:30 and it will go until 1:30 or until sold out. The address of the Person County Office Building Auditorium is 304 South Morgan Street. On the menu, they will have beans, homemade cornbread, homemade desserts, and iced tea for only $5. And you can purchase your tickets in advance by seeing one of the Extension or Community Association council members, or you can get them at the door. So that'll be a good meal, only $5, eat in or take out, next Friday, February 3rd. Speaking of Goings Auctioneering, we'll go ahead and squeeze a word on for them right now, and we'll be back with Beth Davis, our special guest today on the Gardener's Corner program.
Mr. Greg Goins, NCAL 390, announces a huge auction sale for Bruce and Randy Fly Partnership. It will be taking place on Thursday, February 2nd at 10 a.m. in Battleboro, North Carolina. For more information, terms, and to view photographs, log on to GoingsAuctionsINC.com or call Greg Goins at 252-578-1623. This location of this sale to be held on Thursday, February 2nd at 10 a.m. is 5707 Old Battleboro Road in Battleboro, North Carolina. It's not far from Rocky Mount, North Carolina. You'll find a large selection of quality field-ready John Deere tractors, irrigation equipment, tobacco farming-related equipment, and much more. Log on to GoingsINC.com or call Greg Goins at 252-578-1623. Notice this special date and time, Thursday, February 2nd, 10 a.m. in Battleboro, North Carolina. And please note, no buyer's premium will be charged, and this sale will be held rain or shine. Call Greg Goins at 252-578-1623 or log on to GoingsAuctionsINC.com for more information.
Here we are back on the Gardener's Corner program, and our special guest today is Miss Beth Davis, the 4-H agent for Person County. You know, the Cooperative Extension Service motto is empowering people, providing solutions. And anyway, if some of our listeners are wondering what 4-H stands for, believe it or not, I didn't know until maybe 4 or 5 months ago. And I'm going to see if I can remember. It means head, hands, heart, and health.
Very good, yes.
And also, for those of you that may be thinking, as I used to, 4-H is more to it than cooking and cows.
Right.
And you know, Beth, every time you've been on the show, I, make mention of that, and you're the one that told me both of those things.
Right.
So, how you doing? Good to see you this morning.
Good.
Appreciate you coming out, being with us on the show today. And 4-H is very important, and we've got a really good 4-H program here in Person County. And Beth has got a lot of things going on with 4-H, as she always does. And Beth, you say you got camp registration that's about to start, or is it actually already going on now?
Well, believe it or not, even though it's only January, we are starting to do our registration for 4-H camp, and that's our overnight camp. And it will be, camp will be July 9th through the 14th. So, we're looking pretty far out. But we will be taking registration. I have an online registration form that people can fill out if they're interested. And we're trying to get everything at least reserved, by February 6th. So that way we'll know who's planning to attend.
Right.
Because we're having some changes.
Yeah,
in,
that's what I've been
our
hearing.
office.
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing, and we'll talk about that in just a little bit.
Okay.
But you know, Beth, with you really have to plan these things
Way in advance.
way in advance because you really need to know how many kids are going to be
Right.
attending, and you certainly want to make provisions for everyone that's going to be involved. So
And paperwork, everybody's favorite thing.
Paperwork.
Paperwork.
got to have that paper trail.
Exactly.
If you've got a youngster that is involved in your family that would maybe be interested in joining and becoming a part of 4-H of Person County, if they're between the ages of 5 and 18, they are eligible to become a 4-H'er. And maybe some of the listeners would maybe be interested in starting up their own 4-H group or club. It's very easy to do. You just have to go through a background check. And, as big as 4-H is, I truly did not realize, all of the different things that is involved with 4-H. It's a lot of traditional things that's involved with 4-H, as it's been for a great number of years, but it's also some new things that has kind of became a part of it, over the last decade or so, I guess.
Oh, it's been longer than that.
And it's also a lot of people may have a brand new idea
That's
that they
right.
could just pitch it to your local 4-H agent, and before you know it, can maybe have something going along with that. Anyway, Beth, I was going to ask you what your big announcement is as far as changes that's going to be taking place with Person County 4-H.
So, my last day as Person County 4-H agent will be February 10th. So, I have been offered a wonderful and exciting opportunity to have a new job working right here at the radio station in sales and marketing. So
Well-
it's completely different and completely new, but it's part of my job that I enjoy working with the 4-H program is advertising and marketing our program, but just in a new way. So.
Well, we are looking forward to having you come on board, and Beth has known about this several weeks, and
Yeah.
she has notified a lot of her coworkers and 4-H
Her
agents
families,
and
yeah.
friends and family, and I think you're actually going to be starting here on maybe the 20th?
The 20th, February 20th.
February
Yep.
20th.
Yep.
And we're looking forward to having you come on board. But I understand it was a lot of sad 4-Hers and other 4-H agents when they found out that you were going to be making a career change.
Yeah, it was a really hard decision because 4-H has always been a part of my life. My mom was a 4-H agent, so I literally have been a 4-Her since birth. So
Well, you've been a 4-H agent about 12 years,
12
hadn't you?
years, yep. And when I was deciding if I wanted to do this or not, I realized, I can still be a part of 4-H,
Right.
but I can be a volunteer and a 4-H mom, with my son, and just try a different side of it for a change. So
Well,
I'm excited about that opportunity.
You've been the agent here in Person County 3 years.
About 3.5 years
For
yeah.
4-H, and a total of 12 years in some other counties, up in Alamance County a little while, and what were the other counties you were involved in?
Just Stanley County. That was where I started. That's actually right next to the county where I grew up.
Yeah.
So.
So more or less, you started as an agent when you were 13 years old.
As an agent? Yeah, exactly. I started young.
There you go. Well, look, let's get a word on for T.G. Brooks Company, and we'll be back in a few minutes, and we'll spend some time talking with Beth about some other things going on with 4-H. And but right now, let's take a trip out to T.G. Brooks Company in business since 1936.
T.G. Brooks Company wishes you a successful 2017. We probably will get a taste of real winter and cold winter days and nights in January, which suggests a trip out to T.G. Brooks Company, 413 Helena Maria Road in Timberlake. Cold weather needs are found like furnace filters, stove pipe, and stove mats, wood stove, pipe insulation, plastic to put around your windows. You will find water heater elements, thermostats, pressure relief valves. Taylor water stoves and parts are available too. Also ice melt, bird seed in 10, 25, and 50-pound bags, and sunflower and black oil seed. There are shovels for ice or snow. They have wedges, axes, and mauls for getting stove wood ready. They have gloves lined and unlined in leather and cloth. They are your first choice for well pumps and piping when water problems occur, with a selection of submersible and top-of-the-ground jet pumps. They have pipe, pump wire, and pipe fittings too. They also carry cast iron cookware, and they fill propane gas bottles. Plenty of dog food and 100% kiln-dried cedar shavings. You might need an outdoor thermometer. Plan to spend a little time at T.G. Brooks talking about warmer days in a couple of months and getting information on your future lawn and garden plans. In a couple of months, we'll be talking about putting out pre-emergent weed control. Come to the place people like to shop from all over the region for the homeowner, farmer, or construction worker. Phone anytime you need advice at 364-2428. After all is said and done, get you a generous portion of hand-cut ribeye steaks, prepared the way you like them, pop them on your grill, and enjoy a delicious treat. Everything works out when you have a T.G. Brooks day. No week is complete without a visit to T.G. Brooks Company in Timberlake.
Here we are back on the Gardener's Corner program. Beth Davis is our guest today from the Cooperative Extension Service, where she serves as the Person County 4-H agent. Again, Beth will be leaving that position coming up February 10th. And as she mentioned, she's going to come on board here at the radio station. And Miss Donna K. Huff Albright left the station back just before Christmas, and she accepted a job offer. And so we had an opening here, and after some lot of thinking and consideration and all, Beth accepted the job that was offered to her here at the station. So we're looking forward to having her here, but it's still business as usual.
Right.
And it's going to be business as usual all the way up until her last day with the extension service as a 4-H agent. Now, Beth, you was telling me that you all have a banquet planned, and that will be, what, Friday, February 3rd?
February 3rd at 6 o'clock in the County Office Building Auditorium. This is our, I would say, like our biggest event of the year, where we recognize our 4-Hers for, you know, any achievements that they've had throughout the year. We ask them to turn in record books at the beginning of the year, and then we give them an award for that at this event. As well as a couple other awards. We also recognize our volunteer leaders who lead the clubs, because they're putting in a lot of work and a lot of effort to lead those clubs. And we'll have a little bit of entertainment, and we'll have some visual arts displayed. So, yeah, it's a fun night.
Well, now, y'all are going to be really busy hosting the Pinto Bean Luncheon there in the auditorium, and
The auditorium's going to be busy that day.
and then getting cleaned up from that and getting set up for the 4-H banquet. Now, is the banquet open to anyone? I mean, is it a charge for tickets?
No, there's no charge. We mainly invite our 4-H families, but you know, anyone can come if they want to and see what we do, and it may inspire them to get involved in 4-H if they aren't already. And we have a pizza dinner, and We do ask that people respond and let us know if they're coming so that we
Right.
know how much food to provide. But it's just a fun night where we recognize our 4-H kids, because who doesn't like a little recognition?
That's right. If you would be interested in attending the banquet, and you may have a young person that you would like to, get involved in 4-H, why not, maybe take them to the banquet and they can kind of see what kind of goes on, in appreciation of the 4-Hers being involved. You can contact Beth by calling 336-599-1195. Again, 336-599-1195. And the banquet will be on Friday, February 3rd. At what time?
6.
At 6 o'clock. So be sure to contact Beth. And if you would be so kind, contact her at the latest by...
I would say like Tuesday, the
Okay.
31st, just so that we know.
Okay. And because it does take some time to prepare and, to order the pizza and everything. And so maybe some of the county commissioners and other public dignitaries could attend.
I think we may have one county commissioner that may be there. So.
Just to kind of
To
get a
help.
feel and see what all's going on.
Yeah.
Because it would be a good night to get out and see some of these 4-Hers with a smile on the face and kind of a more relaxed atmosphere, so to speak. Now, the age groups for 4-H, what is it, about 4 different age groups, Beth?
Well, it depends on what kind of competition you're having.
Okay. But now, becoming a member of 4-H,
Okay, yeah.
you have like, 5 to 8 that are your clover buds?
Right, I would say clover buds, and then we have juniors, which are like 9 to 12, and then seniors, which are 13 to 18.
Okay,
So that's the kind
okay.
of the generic.
Okay,
age
so
groups,
about
yeah.
three different groups then. Now, as Beth had said earlier, her mother is a retired 4-H agent, and Beth has been a part of 4-H all of her life. And I know a lot of kids get involved, and they're kind of involved up until the age 18. But, no need for them to get out of it then. They can start volunteering.
That's right, and some colleges even have a collegiate 4-H club, so there's
So-
there's opportunities at the college level as well.
Well, 4-H, I think, helps promote a child's character, and it teaches them about interacting with other people. I got a little bit of a cough, my apologies, but it can be a good time for the children to be involved, and so please, we want to do everything that we can to keep 4-H of Person County going strong. And one thing that I enjoy, and I guess it'll be coming up in April, they will have the livestock show in Hillsboro, and that's when the 4-Hers get to show off their cows, goats, pigs, and lamb. Is that right? Those 4 different breeds of animals. And that's when, the highlight of raising that animal kind of reaches its peak when you're there showing, and then the auction of these animals. And to our businesses in the area, if you would like to be a sponsor of the show and sale, you can contact Beth at 336-599-1195.
Or Kim,
Or Kim Woods. That's right. Good idea. I hadn't thought about Kim.
because I won't be there, to help
Right.
with that after I leave. So Kim is probably your best point of contact after I leave. So,
But
and
now
it's
if you
same
want-
same phone number.
That's right.
Yep.
336-599-1195. And if you are a business owner, and if someone from 4-H should contact you and asking about you maybe being a sponsor or making a donation to the show and sale. If at all possible, please do so, because your money goes a long way in helping, the 4-Hers, with the sale and everything. And I hadn't been to one in a couple of years, but maybe can work it out to where we could go up there and have the Gardener's Corner program from up there. But it's a nice deal, it really is. Well, Beth, as far as 4-Hers in Person County, off the top of your head, about how many 4-Hers do we have? Do you have a guesstimate, more or less?
So are you saying in clubs?
We have like a total
club
number.
member?
Uh-huh.
Because I actually just looked at this recently. I had to do a report. So in clubs, we have about 150 kids that are in
Wow.
an actual club. Now, if we looked at the overall number of kids who have been reached through 4-H, so that's clubs, we go into the schools and do some programs, we have our livestock show and our summer programs, all of that, we've reached about 1,300 kids in the
Wow.
past year. So, yep.
Well,
It's a whole lot more than just, our 4-H clubs. We do a whole lot of stuff.
Well, Beth, I remember it used to be to where y'all would have little, outings and field trips and all, to where people could kind of have 4-H introduced to them, through that way. But I really think that it's really good that we have 4-H, because a lot of the projects that the 4-Hers get involved with, it mainly teaches responsibility. And I think it's a lot of kids that come along these days that the only concern that they have is, if they've got their, smartphone or video games with them. And I happened to see something on Facebook the other night, and it was a picture someone had posted of an older video game where you used to have to stand up in front of to play, and it was kind of on there, said, when I was a kid playing video games, we had to stand up, but I guess so many of them now play on their phones and different things. But definitely 4-H is something that would help your child to become more outgoing. And who knows, you got to get children involved in things, because I feel like it's a younger generation of people now that is not big on helping out or volunteering. And that is one thing that a lot of organizations need,
Oh, yeah.
is
Oh,
more
yeah.
help and volunteers.
Yeah, and I'm the only 4-H paid employee. We don't have anybody else that's paid specifically to do 4-H. Now, we partner with a lot of people,
Right.
but we do a lot of the stuff we rely on volunteers. And if we didn't have volunteers, then we wouldn't be able to deliver near as much of the programs that we do. So
Right. Well, Beth, I know you said that it was some collegiate 4-H programs offered. Does any of the universities, whether it's NC State, Duke, or Carolina, do any of them ever offer any help to 4-Hers on more or less a local level?
I honestly do not know the answer to that question. I know NC State has definitely had a collegiate club. I can't say the same for Duke or Carolina, because state, 4-H is part of NC State University, so
Right.
that's like a natural fit.
Right.
Occasionally the university will do like internship programs, and sometimes we'll get help from that, but I don't know. They may go home in the summer and volunteer with their
Right.
program where they're from. I honestly don't know.
Well, anyway, again, if you would be interested in getting your child involved in 4-H, you can contact Beth by calling 336-599-1195. And if you happen to try to contact her after February 10th, maybe you can speak with Kim Woods or any of the friendly 4-H people. Maybe if you know someone that's got a child involved in 4-H, you could speak with them, or, as I meant to say, any of the friendly extension agents, would do whatever they can to help you out.
Hopefully they'll be able to get somebody in pretty soon.
Oh, I hope so, and I feel like they will. And the thing about it with the state and county jobs, it takes a little while to go through the formalities and things, and so anyway. But let's get a word on for Our Pride Foods, makers of Our Pride Premium Pimento Cheese Spread and Dip. The Wooden family are the owners of Our Pride Foods. They're nice people, and they take their business very seriously. And they are one of the small businesses here in Person County, but they do a good business, and they're big on Our Pride Premium Pimento Cheese Spread and Dip. Here's more information.
Goodness grows in North Carolina, and Our Pride Premium Pimento Cheese Spread and Dip is made locally in Roxborough. Pick up some for yourself and enjoy. You can get the Our Pride Premium Pimento Cheese regular, or for extra flavor, try the jalapeno added. Get some for yourself at T.G. Brooks Company, Supply Line Discounts, North Main IGA, Hurdle Mills Market and Butcher Shop, Twins Meat Market, Food Line, or just Save. Or if you're in Uptown Roxbury and get the hankering for some Our Pride Premium Pimento Cheese Spread and Dip, you can enjoy it at Cole's Pharmacy, Trish's Espresso, and Snappy's Cafe. That's Our Pride Premium Pimento Cheese Spread and Dip. Whether you're having it for a meal or a snack, it's good.
All righty, here we are back on the Gardeners Corner program. Beth Davis, the 4-H agent for Person County, is our guest today. Beth, something that, as far as the 4-H camp goes, what all happens at 4-H camp?
Oh, so much stuff. These children are so tired when they get home because they've done so much. But a typical day, they wake up and they have flag raising, and then they go to breakfast, and then they typically will clean up. They all have different chores, so they, if you want to teach your children about chores, this is a great way. But each group has a chore that they do during the morning, whether it's picking up trash, or they may be cleaning up the dining hall, or they may be cleaning up their bathroom, whatever it is. They all have morning chores. And then after that, then they all set out with their group in separate directions. So some will be swimming, some will be canoeing, some will be doing archery, nature. There's so many different things going on. And then they just rotate through a bunch of different activities throughout the day. They'll break for lunch and then go back into after lunch they have a rest period, which is needed. It's very much needed. And then they'll go into their afternoon activities. They get a store break, so there's a camp store, and then they get to have a little snack and a little drink. And then there's usually like a fun evening activity. Sometimes it's a talent show. Sometimes it's like a luau at the swimming pool. It may be like a water games night. So there's something different every night, a campfire, something like that. And then after that, then they head to bed and start all over the next day.
So they're busy pretty
yeah.
much from the time they get up to
Till
bed
the time they go to bed, yes.
Well, now, where will the camp be held at this year?
This year we're going to Millstone 4-H Camp, which is in Ellerby, North Carolina, just up the road from where I grew up. So it's one of my favorites, but holds a special place in my heart. But like I said, we'll be going the 9th through the 14th, and then the end of that week,
So this is in July?
This is in July, sorry,
Okay.
July 9th through the 14th. And then the end of that week, the 12th, 13th, and 14th, we'll have our Cloverbud Camp. So if your child's between the age of 8 and 14, they'll go the whole entire week. But if they wanted to go the shortened week for their clover buds, which are 5 to 8, then they'll go the end of that week. So it's two nights and 3 days for the little ones, and then it's six days, 5 nights for the older kids.
Well, now, as far as lodging, what do they have? Do they stay in tents or
No, they don't stay in tents. They stay in cabins.
cabins?
And these cabins have actually been renovated a couple years back. At Millstone, they didn't used to have a bathroom in the cabin. They had a bathhouse. So if they needed to use the restroom or take a shower, they had to all go as a group to the bathhouse and do all that. But we received some money and updated the cabins and everything. So now there's 2 showers, 2 toilets, 2 sinks in every cabin, which is, I will say, is really nice because it's dark outside out there because you're in the middle of nowhere. But and every cabin has air conditioning, so they're not roughing it too much.
Yeah.
Maybe more than what they're used to. But I think there's 8 kids in every cabin and usually 2 counselors. So.
Well, now, Beth, as far as it's in LRB, and what's the name of the 4-H camp?
Millstone.
Millstone. Now, how is that 4-H camp funded for Millstone? How do they make money for upkeep, and I'm sure they have some employees there.
Yes, well, I mean, it's a state-funded facility, so they get money from the state. But also, if you go to camp, you have to pay a registration fee, and it's $420 per camper. But we charge $150 for our Person County kids. We have a golf tournament every year, and the money from that golf tournament helps to cut the cost for our kids. And right now we have 13 available spots, and so I would really love to get those filled as
Yes.
soon as possible. So I was going to write down the numbers because we have a certain number of boy spots and a certain number of girl spots. And then a couple of those are what we would call adventurers or trekkers. And so those are for the older kids, the 12, 13, 14-year-olds that have been to camp for years and they want to try something a little bit more advanced. And those kids actually will sleep in a tent 1 or 2 nights.
Oh, yeah.
So they're on the campus premises, but they're not in their cabins.
So, again, children from Person County only have to pay $150, but it's actually a cost of $420 per child. But typically, you all have raised enough money to, for the difference between $150 and $420.
Yep. And I should say too, the Cloverbud camp is $100. It was originally $150.
Okay.
Cut it down to $100. So.
Well, now, as far as say that $150 cost, can the kids, if they have accumulated any, you call it Clover cash, can they use the Clover cash towards that $150?
They absolutely can. That's one of the reasons that we have something like that, is to help them pay for camp. So even $150 is a lot for some people, and so if they participate in 4-H and earn Clover cash, then they could potentially get camp for free.
Yeah, well, that's neat. So 13 available spots for the 4-H camp to be held July 9th through the 14th. If you'd like more information, call Beth 336-599-1195. And if you would also be interested in attending the 4-H banquet, that will be on Friday, February 3rd, 6 p.m. And the 4-H banquet will take place at the Person County Office Building Auditorium, and it's no charge. They just ask that you pre-register for that, and you can call 336-599-1195, and you can speak with Beth or whoever you speak with. You can just say, hey, I would like to attend the banquet, and just let them know how many people will be accompanying you there to the banquet, and that way they will make sure that they have plenty of pizza and plenty of seating and things set up for everyone. But sounds like a lot of fun. Beth, if you don't mind, I want to make mention of a couple of things that Jennifer has going on. We talked a little bit about them last week when she was here. Coming up on Wednesday, February 8th at 9 a.m., she's going to be having a grocery store tour talking about Jennifer Grable, who is the Family Consumer Science Agent for Person and Granville counties. Cooking Matters at the store. And basically, it's a 90-minute tour of a local grocery store. And coming up on February the 8th, it will be Food Line out on Durham Road. And pretty much what happens is Jennifer will take a group of people and they will do a little shopping there at the store, and they will compare items. One thing, she compares fresh to frozen to canned products, and she tries to influence people on the best way to get more for their money, but along with doing that, making more healthier choices. Now, it's no charge to participate in the grocery store tour, although they ask that you pre-register. And if you do take part in the grocery store tour, you will receive a free $10 Food Line gift card to purchase healthy foods during the tour. And so pretty much Jennifer would have to approve your purchases. You also will receive a free shopping and free recipe workbook, a reusable grocery bag, and again, this will take place at Food Line on Durham Road. But contact Jennifer by calling 336-599-1195. And another program that Jennifer has going on, and it will actually start on Wednesday, February the 15th, and it will run through Wednesday, May 3rd, and it's Give Your Heart a Healthy Beat. And this is a 12-week program to help you reduce your risk of heart disease. And on Wednesdays, between February 15th and May 3rd, they will meet there at the Person County Office Building, and the meeting will be from 12:10 till 12:50. So it's a 40-minute meeting. It's a $10 registration fee, and that fee is required by February 8th. And you can contact Jennifer Grable again, 336-599-1195. And one other thing we'll make mention of, the Healthy Learning Lunch and Learn next meeting will be Thursday, February 16th. It's a cost of $5. And they will have a local cardiologist, Dr. Tori Bratcher. We'll talk about heart health, heart disease, and women's health. And this Lunch and Learn, again, will be Thursday, February 16th, 12 noon until 1 p.m., 304 South Morgan Street, there at the county office building. And you would need to register for this. Let me look at a calendar just to make sure. You would need to register for this by, I'm thinking, Friday, February 10th. And it's a cost of $5, but Jennifer and some of her volunteers will prepare a lunch, and you will be served lunch, and you will get to listen to our Dr. Tori Bratcher talk about heart health. Again, 336-599-1195. So I had told Jennifer that we would make mention of those things over the next few weeks for her. But, you know, Beth, yourself and Jennifer and Gary and Johnny and Kim and Director Paul Westfall, you all always have something going on at all times. And we're very fortunate that the services that is offered by the Cooperative Extension Service are typically free and at no charge. But if you're ever in need of help, just contact any of the Cooperative Extension Service agents in your county. And they may seem a little bit nosy, but they're not nosy. They just have to obtain information before they can more or less help you find a solution to the problem that you may be having. But they have the power of NC State University. If you are faced with a problem that they cannot provide you an answer with at that point in time, they have the means to where they can dig a little bit deeper to help find an answer.
And we also have NCA&T as well. So we have two great universities that we're a part of.
So again, the number 336-599-1195. Well, Beth, a question for you. As far as 4-H of Person County goes, what are some of the more or less new things that you would like to see happen with 4-H as far as maybe some different groups or clubs?
Well, I have, ever since I've started working here, I've wanted to start a horse club just because I know we have a lot of people in the county that have horses and that ride. So I think something like that would be good for our county that we don't currently have. And there's so much to do in the 4-H horse program. There's quiz bowl, there's hippology, there's shows, there's even artistic contests for the horse program. So that in itself, there's so much opportunity there. And I tell you something we recently learned about, like last week that I learned about. There's these groups called maker spaces. And I think they're probably more prominent in large cities, but they are basically like a workshop or something like that. I may not be understanding it completely, but it's where people can come and build things, whatever. It could be, something totally useless, or it could be something practical. The guy that was our speaker at our meeting showed us a video, and one guy made a kayak that you can fold up.
Wow.
I know. I was like, I want one of those. And then I saw the price, and I said, whew.
So it would be maybe a way that if you wanted to make something like a birdhouse, just the sky's the limit, I guess.
Basically, to be creative and to be critical thinkers and to use your hands. It could be making a catapult. It could be making, anything. The sky is the limit.
And the thing about it is, just whatever you may have going on, if you can capture the interest of that child, that will be a really good developer, a good developer for that child to have to figure out, with your assistance and other people's assistance, on how to make, this, transform from an idea to something actually that they can say, I helped, create and make this. But one thing I think a lot of people is maybe concerned about being a 4-H leader or having your own little 4-H group is that it takes a lot of time, and it doesn't take up a tremendous amount of time, does it, Bev?
No, most of our 4-H clubs meet once a month, and that's not a huge time commitment. The leader is responsible for kind of managing the group as a whole, but the families within that club can take responsibility for different pieces of that club. So, I've had clubs where the families take turns hosting the meeting, and they'll take turns, providing the program. So, you can share the love and make it a little bit more manageable. So.
Well, and as Beth mentioned, she has always wanted to maybe see someone in Person County start up a little 4-H horse group. But if you live in a subdivision that has, 4 or 5 youngsters that maybe have some spare time on their hands, that would be a perfect place to start up a little 4-H club. And, it would be a lot of fun for you. And, children, are so innocent, and it's really nice if you can be an influence on them in a positive way of, growing up, because, it's nothing no better than, later in years for a child to say to someone, and that is after this child has, gotten older, and say, I remember when I was a child, you took up a lot of time with me, helping me do this and teaching me that. And, this can kind of be your way of giving back. So.
And people remember, I mean, as a 4-H agent, sometimes I'll get messages from no longer a child, but was a child at the time. They'll send me a message and say, one time you took me to this, and it really made a huge difference in my life. And that was just one time, and we work with a lot of kids, so sometimes you're like, wow, something that seemed not all that significant to me made a huge difference in that child's life. So just a little time working with a kid can make a huge difference.
And what's the old expression? Little things mean a lot.
Oh yeah, every little ripple.
Well, Beth, we have kind of pretty much used about all of our allotted time today, and we appreciate everybody tuning in. Today's program was brought to you by Owl Pride Foods, makers of Owl Pride, premium pimento cheese spread and dip, Goings Auctioneering. Remember to log on to goingsauctionsinc.com. Their auction will be coming up on Thursday, February 2nd in Battleboro, North Carolina. And a big old thanks goes out to T.G. Brooks Company in Timberlake. Appreciate what Bill and Roy and all the staff do for the public and community there at T.G. Brooks Company. Beth, appreciate you coming out, and want to wish you the very best of luck. And so
Thank you.
I guess maybe the next time that we may hear you on the radio or TV, you will be an official employee of Roxborough Broadcasting. Well, that's going to wrap it up. Thanks to everyone for tuning in. Want to wish you and yours a happy and safe weekend. My name is Rob Hall. On behalf of myself, Kilby, and everyone here at the radio station, we want to wish you and yours a happy and safe weekend. And we look forward to seeing you next week for another edition of the Gardener's Corner program here on WKRX and TV Channel 10.